Lesson 7-6, Example 2. Our objective is learning to read and use map scales and scale drawings. So if we had a drawing of the planets, the actual planets, and it was made up using the scale of 1 inch to 30 million kilometers, the distance from Mars to Jupiter on the drawing would be about 18 3/10 inches. What is the actual distance between Mars and Jupiter? Well, we can use this map because we know there's a ratio there between the inches on the map, the distance on the map, and the distance in real life. So that ratio is 1 inch to 30 million kilometers. So 1 inch on the map is equivalent to 30 million kilometers in real life. Pretty long distance. And if we know that this on the map, we can use that information to find the actual distance between Mars and Jupiter out in space. And we can use this ratio, we'll set up a proportion. If it's true that 1 inch on the map is equivalent to 30 million miles, then we can say that 18 3/10 inches is going to be equivalent to the actual distance out there, and we'll just call that x. So, and that will be in millions kilometers. Some x million kilometers. And if we have this proportion, we can say that we have this in proportion, we can use cross products to then solve for our unknown. So we have 1 multiplied by x equaling 30 multiplied by 18 3/10. So 1x, x is just x, and 30 multiplied by 18 3/10 works out to be 549. So we could say that x is equal to 549 million kilometers. And our final solution then would be the actual distance between Mars and Jupiter is 549 million kilometers. A very long way. Let's take a look at another one then. Let's say we know the actual distance this time. If the actual distance from Earth to Mars is about 78 million kilometers, how far apart should Earth and Mars be drawn if the scale on a map is 1 inch to 30 million kilometers? So now we're trying to figure out, if we know the actual distance, we want to figure out how far apart we should put them on the map. So again, we know that 1 inch is to 30 million kilometers. That's our ratio of the distance on the map to the distance in real life. We'll set up a proportion. 1 inch is to 30 million kilometers as some number of inches on the map is to 78 million kilometers. Our distance in real life that we know between Earth and Mars. So again, once we set up this proportion, we can use cross products. And we have 30, I'm just going to leave the million kilometers off right now, 30x. And then 1 times 78 million kilometers would be 78. So we have 30x equaling 78. I want to get x by itself. Divide both sides by 30. And we end up with x equaling, well, let's go through this. So we have 78 divided by 30. And that's 60. 18. Well, here we have 2 and 18 thirtieths. And it's in inches. And since it's in inches, I could take this out to a decimal, and that would be okay. But since it's in inches, we tend to keep things in fractional form. So I'm just going to reduce this down. So 2 and 18 thirtieths, well, I can divide both of those by 6. So I end up with 2, and 18 divided by 6 is 3, and 30 divided by 6 is 5. So I end up with 2 3/5 inches. So x is equal to that. So the actual distance between Earth and Mars, actually, I want to know not the actual distance, but the distance on the map between Earth and Mars will be 2 3/5 inches. And notice that I almost made an error there. I needed to go back and double check my question. How far apart should they be on the map? So not the actual distance, but the distance on the map between Earth and Mars will be 2 3/5 inches. Always good to go back and double check your question.